You know what I think we should be talking about today, Zach?
What should we be talking about
It's
today?
time to do our market report, our weekly, whatever the hell we do.
Dude,
our
what is
market
going
update. Let's do our market update, our weekly market update, our Black Book weekly market update.
All right. In just a second, we'll be running you through the numbers, wholesale, retail, used and new car numbers. Before we do,
Yes.
back at yourautoadvocate.com, we have 3 new bundles for how we're helping car buyers. So go check it out. Just click on the link down below. Take a peek. If you're buying a car in the next couple months, we want to help you if we can.
Well, whenever you want to buy a car, we want to help you. But if, in particular, in the next 2 to 3 months, we want to help you now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Pops, what's the high-level takeaway from this week's Black Book report?
For the 18th week in a row, wholesale prices at the auction on a national basis for used cars have dropped.
Yep.
And this week's drop is even more significant than it's been in weeks past.
It was almost double last week's drop. So last week was 0.46% of
Yes.
a decline from the prior week, and this most recent week was 0.8 of a point.
Yes.
So not quite, double, but pretty damn close.
Yes, and the historical average is 0.6 of a point. So
And that
it's-
historical average is since we've been going through this COVID pandemic. So
Yes.
gives you some perspective here.
Yeah, it's like incredible that the prices, at least on a national level, and I know that there are pockets of the country where we haven't experienced any wholesale price drops at all at the auctions, but on a national level, the price drops that the dealers are paying with the winning bids are significantly lower than what they've been the week prior. And I mean, we've seen segments, for instance, the subcompact car segment, which we know is a dying segment within the automobile industry in the United States at the moment. I mean, that went down 1.3 points last week. That's huge. If that happens every week, we're looking at a 60% drop in wholesale values of those cars over a course of a year. That's not going to happen.
Name a subcompact car.
A subcompact car would be, I would think, a Hyundai Elantra.
All right. While you run through this, I'm actually going to pull up. I want to look at the price history of a Hyundai Elantra, because the thing that we've been talking about week over week over week is that the wholesale prices for 18 weeks have been dropping.
Yes.
But then the retail
prices are stagnant.
So I'm going to pull up an Elantra here. I'm on Car Gurus. Let me
Yes.
just take a peek real quick. Whoops. There you are.
My God, I pop up on, I every time I click on something on my computer, my ugly mug pops up. I don't get it.
Yeah, if you don't have the Your Auto Advocate browser extension, you should definitely get it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to send this to James, who's editing the video, to show this. This is the price history on this vehicle.
Yes.
The dealers had it for 250 freaking days.
I can't believe that, but that's
insane.
yeah, my God, since March 20th.
Okay, the price is currently listed at $7,900.
Yes.
They originally listed it for sale at $10,600 a long time ago, but that price has been pretty much the same since July.
Yes. And considering the fact that they can go out and buy another Elantra at probably 10% or more below what they paid or what they would have paid for a comparable Elantra, say, at the end of August.
I mean, that just puts in perspective how screwed up things are right now.
Oh, yes. And it also puts into perspective how foolish that particular dealer is for, over the last 3 months, only dropping the selling price $100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you could turn that vehicle, get cash, go buy another one cheaper.
Here's what you have to realize: real estate on a used car lot is limited. There's only so much real estate you have. And if you have a product that's sitting on some of that real estate and it's been there for 250 days, well, that's depriving you of finding another vehicle that you might be able to sell in 20 days or 30 days.
And we talk about it in every video, it seems. The reason you want to turn vehicles, the reason dealerships want to turn more vehicles is so they can sell more financing, so that they can sell more vehicle service contracts, so that they can sell more service in the service drive. So it's
every sale creates another opportunity for a service customer for the service and parts department.
And that's what's so infuriating, because obviously we're here for car buyers, not for dealerships. We don't have anything to do with any dealerships. What's so infuriating is you'd think that if the wholesale prices are down 18 months in a row, and particularly
18 weeks in a row.
18 months is a long time.
It is.
Especially among subcompact cars or
Yes.
these other segments that really there's not a ton of love for.
Yes.
They're still retaining their retail prices to try and be greedy. I mean, that's really what it is. And so as a car buyer, go in and say, hey, I know wholesale prices are declining. I had a phone call with the woman this morning, Rebecca.
Yes.
And she said she has a
Of
friend.
Sunnybrook Farms?
No.
Okay.
And she said, I've got a friend that works at a Ford dealership. They've been sitting on this Toyota. They told me that they're about to take it to auction.
Yeah.
Should I go in and talk to the used car manager and say, hey, before you take this to auction, I'll buy it for $500 over cost cash right now, done deal. And I said, yes.
Yeah.
Call that used car manager immediately, because if they're sitting on it, what else are they going to do?
Well, they're probably going to take a loss on it if they take it to the auction right now. So, yes, wouldn't it make more sense to create a retail customer? Even though you're a Ford store, you can create a retail customer that they very well might bring their car back to you if they ever have any issues. And at the very least, when it's time to get another car, they might think of coming back to you because that's where they bought their last car. Everything about new cars and used cars is based on turn. And with that limited amount of real estate, you need to turn your inventory as frequently as you possibly can. There is no upside in holding inventory to sit on that real estate with the hopes that, well, the market's going to change and somebody's going to come in and pay me too much for this car. There's no upside to that.
And so flip it from the customer perspective, the car buyer perspective. If you know a vehicle's been on a dealer's lot for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, talk about how you, and you make outreach. One way to really convey strength and confidence, talk about how you understand wholesale market trends, talk about how you want to help them move that so they have cash to buy it cheap. Like, those are all good negotiating lines.
Yes.
Word tracks for you to use as a buyer.
And if I could ask a silly question, where could one go to
Just
find
use
out how
his email
long,
templates.
to find
that's
out
it.
how long a car's been sitting on somebody's
Yeah, no.
lot?
Use the Your Auto Advocate app. Use the browser extension. My dad's face will literally just pop up. You click on it. It tells you how long it's been on the lot. We just looked at the Elantra. You saw it. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And use his email templates as well. Anyway, all right. Wholesale market trends. Car prices down a ton. What about truck prices, Pops?
Truck prices have gone down as well, not as much as cars, but there have been significant price reductions, wholesale price that's being paid for these vehicles at the auctions at the
And
moment.
it's the same theme with SUVs and trucks, whereas
Yes.
the more compact vehicles. Where do you guys think that the second monitor is? Is it over there? Or is it over there? Which way is
It's
my
over
dad?
there because Dad's going this way, but compact crossover and SUVs dropped 1.45% last week. 1.45% week over week. That's huge, ladies and gentlemen. That is a hugely significant decline in the wholesale prices that are being paid. Now, will we see that continue? I would suspect that we would, especially this time of year, because traditionally January and February are the two slowest months of the year. But I think we're going to see it continue because dealers have been paying way too much at a wholesale level at the auctions on these used cars for, I don't know, last 5, 6, 7 months. So, there has to be some return to sane pricing as opposed to insane pricing.
Let's touch on one other thing on the used car side, wholesale, and
Yes.
then we'll talk about new cars in the semiconductor shortage. I'm going to read or just
Please read.
Auctions were full of action last week with dealers getting back into full swing. Obviously, the first
Yeah.
week or two of January is very, very slow. Lanes with in-person attendance of buyers and sellers saw higher success as in-lane negotiations increased their sales rate. So we talked about decrease in sales rate a few
Yes.
weeks ago. So vehicles that are making it to auction are selling again. The big buyers, CarMax, Vroom, etc., had slowed down their buying over the last few weeks, but last week they increased their bidding. Not too surprised. CarMax rolled out that new program.
Yes.
They need inventory so that they can turn it. Now, another thing that I want to mention from this, from the Black Book report with regards to wholesale market.
Yes.
Sentiment is still mixed by dealers and remarketers. Remarketers are the people at Avis having to go sell their inventory as used car inventory. Regarding a traditional spring tax season market for 2021, but some of the early indicators of a spring market are popping up at the auctions. This past week, we caught another glimpse of an increase in demand for the always sought after under $10,000 vehicles at the independent auctions. So I think it's interesting to see that subcompact prices are dropping, which makes sense then
Yes.
that demand is kind of increasing. And so if you're in the market for some of those used vehicles, understand that this is kind of what's going on behind the scenes at the wholesale auctions. On the semiconductor side, so on the new car side, supply shortages are going to be really prevalent for a really long time. I don't see when it's going to stop. You want me to read the bullet points?
You're good at reading.
The microchip shortage is having far-reaching impacts on the automotive industry, emphasis added by myself,
Yeah.
with Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Fiat Chrysler, and Ford all feeling the effects. FCA is delaying the restart date of their Jeep Compass production in Mexico and idling another plant in Canada through the end of January. Ford is also taking similar steps by suspending operations at their Louisville plant. Not on this list, Subaru recently stopped some production as well.
Yes. And Honda stopped production in a plant in the UK that they've reopened, they shut down, they reopened, and well, they've suspended operation again.
I saw a comment this morning, Dad, from someone who said, "You guys said months ago prices were going to go down. Now you're saying prices are going to go up. Like, screw you guys. I'm unsubscribing. You don't know what you're talking about." If we had known that there was going to be a semiconductor shortage, we would have been waving that flag way earlier. But yeah, if you can't make cars, it's going to drive prices up.
Yes,
It's really terrible, but it is what it is.
Yes, and as I like to say, our crystal ball's kind of cloudy.
Very cloudy.
Okay, so we apologize for just, regurgitating the information that we get off of the industry sources that we try to share with you.
He apologizes. I don't apologize.
Well, realistically, we shouldn't apologize because it's
Do the best we can.
yeah, so yeah, if you want to screw us and unsubscribe, go ahead, screw us and unsubscribe.
But buy our stuff first, please.
Yeah,
Then unsubscribe.
and then unsubscribe, and don't use the stuff that you buy.
Yeah,
that would be even better yet. But the point is that maybe we should have been reading some computer industry magazines and websites to know that there was going to be a microchip shortage, but we didn't, and so. For that, we're sorry, but we're not sorry for reporting what's actually going on and how it might impact the future for availability of cars moving forward.
Exactly. Yep. So there you go. That's this week in the new and used car market. It's still a not so fun time to be a car buyer, but we'll keep tracking. Honestly, pulling up that Elantra, I think we should be doing that like weekly. Like we should be looking at. We should have a kind of like a group of cars.
We should pull that Elantra up again next week. That
Exactly.
very Elantra next week.
Exactly. Let's keep looking at the price history.
Yeah, we should have a group of cars that we check week over week, the same vehicle.
Comment down below what vehicles you want us to see. I know a lot of SUVs are really popular, but let us know. Give us like 3 or 4, vote them up, and then we'll check price histories, and then we'll compare to the wholesale market. We should be able to find some interesting insights there.
Hopefully.
All right, Pops, another one in the book. In the book?
In the
bag?
books.
In the bag?
It's in the computer, and thank God we're done.